That's rough. But hey, with SafeLight, you can get that fixed any way you want. Any way I want. Any way you want.
Obviously, the accident had a heavy toll on you physically, but I guess what are some of the scars and things that you carry just from actually bouncing around the ring all these years?
Well, so I found out when I had the wreck that I had already broken my neck. Sometimes a year or so earlier, could never do it. Could never miss a day of work. I threw a guy into a corner and I jumped up to monkey flip him out, and he held on, and I catapulted myself all the way in the middle of the ring, and there was a board sticking up, and I landed right on that board, and it felt like it killed me. There were things that were, that would have come back and haunt me.
Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download. Here's the guest segment on Wednesday. We got a great guest coming in to the studio. I posted on social media about how excited I was for this. But thanks for joining us here in the Arby's studio. Arby's has their new meat and three box, so you get more meal for your money at Arby's. So make sure you go there and check it out. Arby's, we have the meat, and we also have the great guest here today. This is stepping outside of the racing industry for a minute. Terry Wayne Allen, also known as Magnum TA, was a wrestler and great friends with Dusty Rhodes. You see the figurines over my shoulder sometimes here on the show. But I was a huge fan of Dusty, and Dusty was sort of bringing Magnum into the NWA and sort of helping coach him up to become eventually world champion. And he was right on the threshold of doing just that when he was involved in a car accident and his career as a wrestler ended. It affected me. I was really, upset about that back as when I was a child. I mean, I was 10, 12 years old when this went down. I excitedly woke up every Saturday morning to watch these guys. They would come on after cartoons was over, and just some things that I remember about my childhood and that I miss. And Dusty was an incredible character. Magnum TA was an incredible character. I've never met Terry. I've always wanted to tell him at least that I was a huge fan of his, and how
I got a few people in.
sad I was about how his career was cut short. But
Just gonna do a little live stream on the cleaning the clutch and doing the bearings.
Talk to Terry and just see kind of how he does feel about his career and his impact on the sport, and how he was able to sort of figure out what to do next when he realized that wrestling.
Well, that didn't go flying across your shop.
So I'm excited about this. Let's bring Terry in the room and get started. All right, so Terry Wayne Allen, also known, or better known maybe, as Magnum TA on the Dale Jr. Download. I've never met you before, and I'm a big fan.
Very important.
So we got one figurine back here with Dusty, and I've talked about it on
Take.
the show before. But when I was
These
a
are.
little boy, every Saturday morning, wrestling would come on after
There's
the
three.
cartoons would go off,
You got the thick one
and we would watch
The bearings,
you
and the thin one.
Dusty and
Thin always goes on first when you put it back together. Remember that.
That was a big part of my childhood.
Just
You know,
one
I was
kinda
a big fan of the NWA, and I had
Inspect it a little
Hulk
bit.
Hogan
Make sure
figurine,
there's no
I had that wrestling,
gouges or anything.
wrestling
Kind of.
ring, and I had the Roddy Piper.
I mean, you can see the dust in there. That's what we're cleaning out for sure.
You know,
Make sure there's no
what we
gouges.
saw, what was really local to us in
There's nothing that looks like it's,
the Charlotte area and so forth
you know,
was
gonna do a lot of damage. But
and so I grew up, and
if I had some Kento, I'd use some of that. But this is what I got right now. Just some basic carbon choke cleaner. But yeah, just take your clutch, spray it real good. I got a trash can right behind me, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick. But yeah, just spray this really good with your brake cleaner, and then if you got an air compressor, blow it out real good afterwards. Make sure it's completely dry.
And we're going to dive into this, and I want to learn more. But in my young eyes, you were on your way. You were the total package. You had the look, and you had the ability, and you change your life. But, you know, you had accomplished a ton. I'm trying to get wrestling, and I had always just wanted to meet you because even though you're
Okay, I forgot.
cut short in the ring, you
Get the hose out.
on me, and I'm sure many other people.
How y'all doing?
So it's a pleasure having you here today. I got to tell you, thank you for first of all for giving us some time today.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's such a lot of parallels because I grew up in Chesapeake, Virginia, not too far from here, and my earliest memories of television or wrestling, watching it with my dad, and wrestling was something that pulled families together. I mean, you may not have anything else in common that you shared or that you enjoyed talking about or anything, but grandparents, dads, aunts, uncles, everybody got connected somehow through the wrestling. And I never imagined in a million years as a young person that I would ever enter that genre and that square circle. Because to me, just like you growing up watching it, it was bigger than it was real life superhero.
Y'all give me a second.
Well, it's interesting. My mom.
This is a clutch. Here, I'll show you real quick. For this go-kart right here. It goes on the motor right there. But I'm just cleaning. Excuse me. I'm just cleaning the dirt off of it, so it'll operate like it's supposed to and be nice and clean and just good for the duration of it, so I'm not wearing it out. Okay. Give me a second, I gotta blow it out. Where?
In the Olympics, when Dan Gable went and
I forgot. I put them right here.
won the gold. My mom would give me the Dan Gable story about his life. He was a huge inspiration to me. And so I just dug in and said, I want to go there. In 80, that would have been the year that if I continued on that path, of course, we boycotted that year. And so as I went into college, I tried to I won the state championship at 167 pounds in 1977. And I tried to maintain that size. But when I graduated from school, I just turned 18 like 2 weeks after graduated. So my body hadn't gone through that mature man thing happens to you between like 18, 19. And all of a sudden, I quit like dieting year round like I did for wrestling. And I came back after my freshman year of college and weighed like 210. They wanted me to go back down. And I said, well, I kind of like being this bigger.
That's good.
But I wasn't really truly big enough to be a college heavyweight because those guys were 250, 260. And when I was in college, I started working security in the nightclubs in Virginia Beach. And a whole new part of my education, street smart and learning a guy that was my manager that was with SEAL Team 6. SEAL Team 6 was out of Norfolk. And so I got this whole other culture ingrained in me. I learned a lot of things that really gave me a whole other set of skills. And the wrestlers started coming into the clubs when I was working. And I slowly started, the light bulb goes on. I see like Black Jack Mulligan and Greg Valentine and Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood, these guys are coming in, and they wrote an article in the Norfolk paper about them and what a big business it was, and I saw the money that these top stars were making, and they were making, $150,000, $180,000. That was something huge. Back in 1979, I thought they were all millionaires. So that's when the light bulb went off that maybe this is something I ought to go after.
Well, how did you? So you're working security at a
All
bar.
right.
You
Go ahead and get the basket cleaned out real fast.
Was a
What the
very talented,
brake cleaner?
charismatic performer. He was also a former amateur wrestler. I don't even think he graduated high school. I think he went right from wrestling in high school right into professional wrestling. And he was really just a real natural, gifted athlete. But he saw me, and because it was such a tight knit organization, it was no different than thinking you played football in high school and you would walk on the NFL. I mean, breaking into the wrestling business was highly guarded. If you didn't know somebody, you weren't going to know. And so he saw potential in me, but he also saw financial potential. And because no one would talk to you, there was no wrestling schools or anything like they have today, like the WWE Performance Center. There was no path. You had to know somebody. And he came to my mom and dad's home and put on
But definitely make sure you get the inside of your drive gear where that bearing sits. Make sure that thing, I'm talking about right there, make sure that thing is very, very clean. Also just look, make sure there ain't no little scratches or gouges. It's good. Because this is the bearing that sits in it. So now I'm gonna spray this with brake cleaner and get it good and clean, and then do the other bearings and then grease them back up.
We understand that you approach him. Were you angry? Were you like, hey man, what's?
I was really serious, and he realized I was really serious. He was either going to fight me or shoot me or do something, but that wasn't going away. I mean, I've never been outside the state of Virginia, and I've gone all the way across the whole United States and showed up on the doorstep.
How did you find him?
So I ended up, he'd asked me to pick his little brother up and take him to what was called Mid-South. That was a territory. So he had opened a little door, and I thought he was just trying to appease me. Well, I never told anybody the story about what he told me and what was supposed to happen. And while I was in the Mid-South,
Got the majority, know some blow the rest out and off there.
I was sleeping on these guys' couch, Jimmy was out of Florida.
See, a good chunk of it blew off. I'm about to get a different rag. This one's about spent.
People would come in, they circulate you around, you work the mid card, around, and then you go somewhere else.
So you go out.
Yeah, just make sure it's good and clean.
You need some lessons.
One lesson.
In
2
Oregon.
hours, in a bowling alley with a ring set up.
And so what? And you left after that?
No,
Looks
was
pretty good to me.
the next day on TV against him,
Oh,
and he told them that I wrestling.
No grease coming up.
I never had a match.
Nice and shiny on both sides, so that one's ready.
Next 6 months,
Now we're gonna do this one. I'm just gonna hit it one good time.
How bad was the first match? How
And then we'll
good?
hit it with some carb cleaner real fast.
It really was for not knowing anything but, from working out in the ring and learning just how to run, get the ropes.
And blow it out.
And,
Oh, no. Yeah, right. So, like,
Get some more blue shot towels.
I'm trying to imagine. You
Not
see your
bad.
every single night for the next, how many weeks? 6 months, right? And so,
A little bit of stuff came off
you're
there.
just a grunt guy getting there, getting his butt kicked and getting tossed around.
I'll tell you the deal. Nobody knew because I didn't
That
start
looks.
anybody up.
Oh, there's a lot better.
Alright.
So that one's now done. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit both of these with just a little squirt of carb cleaner and then wipe them down. Really all of these real fast.
He picked me up, he dropped me behind him, and he told me to roll him up. Well, I didn't know what a roll up was. I didn't know the terminology either. But I was a wrestler. So I waist locked him and I bellied the back suplex on his head. And he back and he just loved it because he was this big old raw bone, tough son of a gun that was used to intimidating people. And obviously I wasn't intimidated. I was just trying to do my thing. And the guys were really embraced me because they saw how hungry I was to want to learn.
What were the conditions like? What were the facilities like? What was
Small little arenas. Sometimes, I mean, I dressed in a room that it wasn't much bigger than this table with a whole card full of, the baby face guys, the good guys, and the heels are on the other side. And, little small places, and you were making, $50 a night and driving your own vehicle. And,
I'll go ahead and clean the key off. It goes in there.
98 four-door car. I'd always had sports cars my whole life, but I bought a four-door car because I figured you need a big car.
What were you telling everybody back home?
I was telling them.
Wipe the washer off.
I was doing it. I was out there.
I'm just gonna blow the threads out really quick. That's about all that needs to be done on this. Nothing crazy on the bolt. This thing should be good to go. And just put it back on there as is. Boom. Alright. Now, remember, when you're reassembling this, thin washer always goes on first. Make sure you put it on there. Alright. Now, this is the grease that I use for the bearings on the clutch. Everybody's different on how they use these, or how much grease they put on them anyway. I usually rub it in there pretty good, that way it rubs all the way around the bearings first.
You become a hit with promoters almost immediately.
So it rotates them, gets them in there real good,
You get a call to join Championship
and
Wrestling.
just kind of start playing with it a little bit.
Well, there's another
Get you a
step,
little bit.
and there's one little important
Set it
piece
in my hand.
So, because I had that big car when I was in Portland, I met this little fellow named Andre the Giant. Whoever had the biggest car drove the Giant around. And so the Giant rode with me for the 2 weeks he was there. And of course, had some other guys in the car too. Do you remember? It was probably Buzz's little brother Brett. Was with us, and I can't remember who else. But he and I became friends my first month in the business, which would go on to be important later on.
And all I'm doing is just,
But I went from Portland
just kind of coating it.
to Southwest Championship Wrestling, which was owned by Joe Blanchard.
See what it's doing.
Because I'd been there 6 months, wasn't going
mount I put on there last week, I was pretty happy with, and it came out, wasn't covered in grease. I mean, it was all pretty much used up. I mean, you don't have to pack them, you know. That's probably actually a little bit too much.
He brought me there, and I did 6 months in that territory. But
Just hang on to it.
I'm
And just,
learning like linear. I'm wrestling 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And sometimes twice, on Sundays, doing a matinee or something.
Wow. So, what was becoming friends with Andre like?
He was a gentle giant. And I've never seen anybody drink. I thought I'd seen people drink, but I mean, he would cycle between he would go like part of the year he'd drink beer.
a little bit lighter
And then another part of the year he'd drink hard liquor.
than what I used last week, but
He would
I think
drink
I got it.
12-ounce beer and it looked like a little baby can. And he'd take
I want to
three
put just a
sips,
little bit more on
and it
there.
was gone. And everybody else would have a couple beers and he had a case. And he could drink 100 of them.
No, I'll do.
So, I've only been able to, I've heard a
Put a
lot
little
of
bit
people
on there.
say how,
There you go. Put a little bit on the bearing.
a lot of people have very,
And when it rubs against it, it'll take it, and
but from
it'll be alright.
someone like myself who's never been in the room with him, right, and only seen him wrestle, right, it's hard to imagine having a conversation with him.
Okay.
Hanging out with him, right?
Make sure all this
Give
is
us
good
an
and
idea,
clean.
I guess, of what kind of personality, what were the conversations like?
He had a heavy French accent.
Now,
And
for this one,
he cared about other people,
which
right?
that goes
He
in
was very,
your drive gear.
very intelligent about the business and what it took to be successful.
Just take it
And I say all that because the setup of all this was
and just rub it in.
when I went from Portland to San Antonio, then San Antonio to Florida. Andre had come in again, and he hadn't seen me in a year and a half. He watched me evolve. And he'd seen me come from the green and grass kid that couldn't really lace his boots up to someone that put a lot of ring time in. And he's the one that came up with the name, the handle Magnum TA. So we were at a place called Fat Man's Barbecue, and eating breakfast at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he looked over at me and said, "You're ready. You're ready for something big. You just need a name. You need something catchy. You need
No, that's good.
something that people will remember."
Drop
And the
that dude in
Magnum
there.
PI series was big back then, and I had shorter hair. And
Wipe my hands off real quick.
That Magnum PI, it should be Magnum TA. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was a really catchy name, but he's the one that, brainchild that
Second.
thing.
Hit my hands
He
with
was
what
just always thinking about business and how he could help other people.
So, from that moment forward, when you were able to like,
Canto good for everything.
how long?
Clean
was
the
that?
hands. Kill a wasp.
Or was it a process?
It was a process, and I didn't try to introduce that in
Spraying somebody annoying. No, don't do that. Got the washers on there already. The bearing that goes in between them. Get your clutch ready to take the basket. Put your basket back on. Once you get it lined up. Yeah, that's it.
Put your other washer back on.
Now, snap ring. That holds everything together. Put that thing back on there.
Andre was working for Vince Senior at the time. This was before Vince Junior had, taken sites and looking at and taking over the world. So he was going back to New York with the idea of talking to Vince Senior about bringing me to New York. Really, simultaneously while that happened, Paul
You
Lord
should be able to take your fingernail
star in the South, Lee,
when that snap ring's in there in the groove
goes
and
to New York.
move it around.
He just opened big opening spot.
You see it moving.
Big cat for the lad was Booker. He was coming in and out of Florida doing guest shots. He had his eye on me. He called me in the middle
Spin
of
it
the
around a little
night.
bit.
Says, "Hey, I got a spot on top, and we talked about the name, so we're gonna bring you in.
Put it in there.
We're gonna give you a push." So that was been my first opportunity to be on top. Or be this new guy that I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I might have went a little.
And then
I don't know if I went a little too heavy or a little too light. Cause I know when I spun this dude last week, I mean it was free.
they're trying to
and I put quite a bit on there. So I don't know.
and what they want me to push. And we don't-
Still kind of learning about the ratio I can use. 'Cause, I mean, it's kind of easy to,
Next week,
see.
time to give you a little pump rock close like the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, they were just
But
on
all right.
and on when they
Anyway.
couldn't get it. And
Let's get y'all moved over here now.
it was just frustrating.
One momento.
Say this isn't working out.
Okay.
And go get some more experience somewhere else and figure this thing out. So Dusty and I had become best friends when I was in Florida. And Dusty says, hey, he said, I got an idea. He said, I want you to get a motorcycle. And he said, you're going to be the lone wolf Magnum TA, and I'm going to have you ride that.
I know my air filters are still dirty. I ain't done that yet because I don't have my
Ride up like the lone wolf.
cleaner.
And so I'm all cool.
And the air filter oiled as shit. So I
And
can
I
hear
go
it.
down to Baton Rouge, Florida, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on my way to the town. I was going to wrestle that night. Jim Duggan and I were riding together and crossed me off in my bike. Yep, I saw that. I saw the autograph up there. And
They get around eventually.
I buy this motorcycle, buy a new leather jacket, and I ride it
You-
into town. Well, I'm still working in Mid-South.
Where?
And I roll up in that town, even though I've been there 6 months, the whole energy changes. Even when I walk in the dressing room, the leather's on, the deal.
It got better. Yep.
And then when they watch, he sees the energy change. He says, "Oh, you're not going anywhere. I've got big plans for you."
Okay.
And then
I still got the motor free, so
this
now I have it hooked up. It's kind of easy to do it this way.
kind
Let's do it the same way I did it last time.
of
Get it back off.
Stone Cold Steve Austin used to be. And so I got to really hone that character for a solid year. Working on top of
Oh yeah.
it.
Wait.
So,
Getting ahead of myself.
we just struck up.
Ain't cleaned the shaft off
Really
yet.
deep friendship. You and Barry have been very close since Barry was like a little kid because of Blackjack and Dusty were playing. We always loved Barry is one of the most naturally gifted wrestlers of all time to this day. And when I've been there 6 months in Florida, Corey Funk Jr. had been the booker. Dory leaves, Dusty comes in. Dusty was gonna like rearrange things. As a matter of fact, he didn't know me from Adam's house cat. He was gonna have me send me to Kansas, not to Kansas City, to work in Tennessee, to Nashville. And
Whether you're the MVP or an athlete in training, you deserve the best. Papa Sport is pro-level socks from the pros of socks, specially designed to match your drive. Visit papas.com for 20% off.
There wasn't anything on it anyways, because I mean I did kind of blow it off the other day, but okay. So first, take the chain, go ahead and just put it on there. So that's at least somewhat there. Spin around so I can get the key in there. Keyways in. Put the bolt on.
Barry said, you might want to take a second look at this guy and, look at it from a different perspective. So Dusty and I make a road trip together, and we're coming back, and he puts this 8-track in Frank Sinatra's show tunes. I'd grown up in all kinds of diversity of culture and exposed to all kinds of things. And he worked every song.
Hold on, I just realized I had the short socket on my bottle.
We come out of that trip and we're like all of a sudden best buds. And we just immediately have this bond. And so we established that bond in Florida. And then we wanted to be successful. And really take my game up. And it's funny, he was like my best friend. But he never talked to me about the mechanics that we did in the ring. They talked to me about psychology and his dreams and visions of something bigger than just what the regional type wrestling.
Okay, I got some play in it, so that's good. now.
And that was just something that came out of his head. He was thinking about the mega show. And bringing,
Chain.
Joe Frazier's in. And,
Back on.
from other sports and other forms of their
Now,
into
I can
wrestling.
go get a short
So
set
he had
here.
a huge imagination and just he had a lot of faith in me. And
That's what I had it out for.
They were just
Let's see. Can I get you a little bit?
they were not drawing.
Should I zoom in here?
We're not doing well. The guys on top were not making.
Here we go.
Why would Dusty want to come do that?
Because
Alright, so now, what I'm doing
something big. Well, he had brought
is
Wyndham with him. He also,
I run a 219 chain, so I gotta loosen this up. I gotta loosen the sprocket up in order to get the chain to sit right on the teeth, on the sprocket, and the drive gear. Otherwise, it'll try and jump a tooth, cause damage, and just unnecessary. Hope I'm out of your way. Good and loose. Need. Man. Oh, there it is.
Around watching it in the late 70s, but it's interesting to me to hear that it wasn't doing
Oakley dope.
all that great. That particular territory wasn't doing all that
Back
great.
y'all out a little bit here so y'all can see what's going on.
What you've experienced in Florida and so forth.
So do you remember
Alright,
when
we good.
it showed up on PBS on the Super
Alright.
Station? The first 6 months
Now,
I come here,
got my Allen so I can put my motor mount back on.
Dusty said, "Man, we gotta do something."
And I forgot to clean those. Crap.
It wasn't popping. And Jim Crockett went and made a deal with Vince McMahon because Vince had somehow secured the TBS Superstation, but he was also on the USA channel. Well, it was a conflict of interest, and nobody was real happy about it. So Jimmy gave him a check, rumored for like $1 million to get a spot. The minute, almost simultaneously, of us going on TBS, and then we had the Saturday morning show, the 2 hours at 6:05 at night, and the Sunday night show. That became the star maker. And Dusty was like, he was a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
He had me, like, so when I came on the scene on TBS, it was like nobody had ever seen me before.
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm on
Brand
national television.
Yeah.
And I had 5 years of experience,
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Right.
7 nights a week. So I'm seasoned, ready, locked in, and they put Flair and I head to head, and we go all the way around the whole loop hour every night.
Yes.
And that's what establishes the credibility of our wrestling product as opposed to the WWE with sheer entertainment, Hogan coming in, glitz and glamour, big promos, ripping the shirt, stomping around, and we're going out there depicting a real competition and a markedly different thing that they did.
The matches were incredible. But also, what I enjoyed particularly about the Saturday morning shows was the programs.
Motor mounts are clean now.
Help me.
And I've already cleaned the frame. At least I think I did.
Imagining from the conversations I've had and watching myself,
One more time, please.
you're not going to be a superstar unless you can do the promo. How was that process for you? How did you learn, I guess, how to work the camera and be charismatic?
Every little bit of gunk is a potential spot for your motor mount to come loose. And it'll back up on you. Chain to come loose. You don't want that. Especially if you're doing good in the race.
And I had them in my ear telling me this.
Clean.
Because it's got to be a magnification of something you believe. You got to be dialed in. You can't
Just get these bolts started.
portray something that something isn't deep down inside you somewhere. Obviously, it's monsters turned up the knob all the way to the top. But you got to be comfortable in it. So I got all that under my belt there. So I came here and got the form and got the green light. I was ready. And again, I got to, by working with Flair, Russell
bolts.
How much extra work goes into
Run up to where it's at least up there on it.
made mistakes? It really is, we never do it.
Don't want to cinch them all the way down. Just get them snug.
And being on live camera with Dusty and being his partner and not know what's going to come out of his mouth, right? I mean, he busted.
That way you can still maneuver in. What I gotta do, let's see, can y'all see this?
Me and my friends, like
Yeah. You see this split right here? We're gonna put that right in the middle, like such. And set your motor where you want it. Find your tension about where you want it. And remember, when you set your motor, it's going to twist a little bit. So, X-pattern your bolts just like you would your wheels. Yeah, there's only 4 bolts on this, but just X-pattern them. It'll make a difference.
pretty incredible. So Dusty's kind of.
And when you tighten that, it's going to tighten your chain up too. So don't go crazy with it.
I would have never had the superstar run if one of the Crocs had not.
Got some sense about where we want it, and then just kind of pop it a little bit. Let it roll. Did you hear that pop? That's what we're trying to avoid. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's about what I want. I'm gonna hit the middle one on both. Alright, now just go around. Now we good. That's not that bad, really. Right there, honestly. See what it does.
Rick was so great. It was hard to hate him because he was so good. The Anderson brothers, on the other hand, didn't look across the as me. And so everything for them. What was
now we're just gonna go across, hit them all a little bit.
Personal relationship?
Very lightly.
Travel together.
You don't need to do a whole lot because you don't want to damage the threads. And,
This was back when we were,
there's a lot of things that can happen.
This is a real feud, real history.
Still good.
Later on, we started traveling with private jets and all that. We would be in Spain, a little. I had.
Is that not rolling? I need oil change. I don't know.
And he told me about what he wanted to be, and he just wanted to be the best heel in the country. And he never had any ambition to be like, wasn't any confusion about it. And that was a magnification of his personality because he could roast people just like that.
Yeah, something was off here.
But he was one of the best professionals ever.
Okay, got to redo it.
Program with him and I quit in school days in Greensboro. And
So,
he was just
loosen the motor first.
doing the distractions and all the things that he did. So he was like, the ever-ready punch. You could be beating him and had to work so hard. If you knock him down, he back up coming for another punch, just like that. Showing it. And I often think what could have been he really
Let's rock it back up.
if he had cast differently. His Arn and I, in Mid-South, but Arn was one of like what we called enhancement guys, that would just come to TV and,
Try those
bounce
on
around, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Give 'em a little finger tightening,
And
slam them down,
I
see what
remember
happens.
seeing him the first time and saying, yeah, that guy's got some huge potential. And then when they brought him to Carolinas and gave him the Anderson name and the deal, he's just superior athlete, but he was also so good on the field. He's the one that came up with the riders up there. He quoted something, his grandmother was and next thing he knew, the four horsemen of the apocalypse came out, and it just rolled. But he was a really gifted guy on the bike.
Yeah. With Ric Flair being so successful in that moment, was that detrimental maybe to Tully's bit? Was Tully sort of having a hard time coming out from underneath how big of a deal Rick was growing into?
He did if
Still
you
doing it.
was single control, because they really, the horsemen really came about after we had finished our feud, because I was in the feud with Nikita by that time, and it really did. I mean, it put him in a spotlight, certainly where he
I
had
don't
a lot of main event matches, but it kept that doors, that lane was just shut.
So
For him.
sad.
He couldn't.
One that keeps
They put another, they got a national
making it
heavyweight title, world television title, and he
tight.
had both of those. But
Is that leading wire for babyface?
no, it's actually wider for heel. Reason being, typically you want to see somebody chase, and you're not going to be cheering the heel chasing for the title. So that babyface overcome all the things that he's getting cheated. He can't get a fair shot from the outside interference. It's this and that, and that's what sells tickets.
Yeah, that's what we watched Dusty do for so many times, thinking, man, he's just so close. That's what kept you turning in every single week. Maybe this is the week. Maybe this is the week.
It's like soap opera.
Yeah, it's so good. You and Rick had a rivalry, and
These
you
dudes
were,
are
around this time sort of being positioned as the guy going, you're kind of falling into that role that Dusty had played for so long, trying to grab that for Rick.
For the big, small, short, tall. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone. For the big, small, short, tall. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola.
think I'm actually, I think I'm gonna take this off and clean this out there.
So back then,
I don't like, cause I shouldn't be doing that at all.
And that was an actual alliance. There was promoters all over the country that had.
It's alright, something I should probably do anyway, so.
And they had a say in who represented, the country, because that was really, it was an extreme honor, because everybody
Yeah,
recognized
it's
your
dirty.
level of performance, felt like you could come to their area, wrestle their top guy, elevate, ticket sales and whatnot, so it was a lot to it.
So you're telling me that the world heavyweight champion could be a
I'll clean the
member of any of the geographical
rest
regions,
of it off in just a second.
right? But it was decided in this case to be Ric Flair, which was a member of this specific, Mid-Atlantic geographical location. But that was decided on by all of the members
And the vote.
in a vote.
And I remember vividly, they brought me, so the convention was in Vegas, and Jimmy Crockett flew all of us out to Vegas for the convention, and they had me address the room, and to introduce that thought, and
What
the thought of me being the guy.
And so you had to get up there and speak and try to, convince these guys, this might be a good idea for me to be in this role.
And it wasn't that, it was just addressing the room and them seeing that in you, seeing you, you're not trying to convince anybody, your work and what you did on the bike and the way you carried yourself, and all those things were the deal. But it's like, so Flair's 10 years older than I am, and they wanted a youth, they wanted somebody in their 20s. And they tried it with different folks. Tommy Wildfire Rich was a big star in Georgia. I think he held the title a couple of weeks. But to maintain that title, you had to be able to go out there and wrestle and have a great match with pretty much anyone. And Flair had that capability. But the reason that they called him the 60-minute man, but when you attain that title and you go to those places, they don't want you to beat their champion because then you leave and they got to draw money with that guy. So they have you do the hour, you do the what they call the Broadway, you do the 60 minutes, and so you have that 6-minute match, and the last 15 minutes, everybody would think, oh, the guy almost had it, but of course Flair would want to maintain it within 60 minutes. The time was the champion maintains the title. Right. So it was quite a task you had to be able to perform with literally whoever they threw at you. Right.
Dirty Mo Media, Junior Rush Sports, and I have a new partner this year, and we couldn't be more excited about this. A lot of y'all may have heard, Arby's has come on board, and we're loving every second of it. And Arby's has entered the chat with a meal deal that raises the bar for value. Introducing the new meat in 3 box for $7.99 that's filled with Arby's quality favorites. Each meat 3 box includes your choice of one sandwich. The classic roast beef that is hand sliced and slow roasted, a crispy chicken sandwich, or you can go with the crispy fish sandwich.
Well,
All this comes with
over
melted
here, clean the
mozzarella
sprocket
sticks, some crispy curly fries, everybody loves those, and a peach cobbler roll for dessert, guys. You got to try that dessert. It's really good. And you get a small drink. It's called Week 3, but you're actually getting 5 items, all for only $7.99. Nobody out there is giving you this much value for your money. This is a value meal that won't leave you hungry. You know, you don't have to settle for less.
I mean, it was pretty dirty, as you can see.
For a limited time at participating locations while supplies last.
So,
Prices may vary. Get your meat 3 box at
all that little bit, it adds up, as you can clearly see.
1986, October. You're on your way home from a match. Do you remember that day?
October 14th, and I was coming. I wrestled Jimmy Garvin, a lumberjack match in Greenville, South Carolina, and Dick Murdoch rode back with me. When I had a 911 Turbo Porsche. It was my dream car from when I was a kid. I bought it. It had about 4 or 5 months, and it was pouring down rain. And
We'll say that meme is very true when it comes to someone else's card cleaner or the shops. You'll spray the heck out of it when it's yours, to like a sneeze of it. And you're like, wow, it's too much.
And I lived literally 10 minutes from there. And I
Almost done.
said goodnight to him, went home, I was heading home, coming down Sardis Road, and back then that was a 2-lane road where the Charlotte Christian School is. And there was a little dogleg turn in the 2-lane road, and there was a dip in it. It was raining so hard that the water had gathered really heavy. And so I'm running faster than I should. I'm running like 55 miles an hour and 35, but in that car it felt like you weren't moving, right? And I hit that water in a hydroplane. Now I've hydroplaned so many times I can't even tell you, other times in my life, but I've never done it in a rear engine car. And when I let off the gas and went to turn into it to catch it, it didn't catch. And then in a millisecond, I said, they told me you had to drop these things out of the problem when you got it. Well, when I got back in it, it spun the tires and the turbo kicked in and I spun the other way. And I broadsided the telephone pole, no telling with the whip that made how hard I hit it. But I hit it so hard, it knocked the half shafts out of the motor. The motor never turns off. My compression fractured my head on the roof. The C5 vertebrae explodes. Can't move anything with my neck down. I'm driven down in the floor of the car. And, there I lay for what seemed like forever. A young man who was a student on his way home found me and called 911 and used the jaws of life, cut the top of the car off and they couldn't airlift me out because it was raining so hard. And I got to get to the hospital and all of a sudden I got this surgeon standing there and telling me I've got a 1,000,000 shot of her walking again. And at, like you said, on the precipice of the biggest time in my life, career-wise.
When do you start to realize, what you got, right?
I realized what he told me, because first of all, I didn't hurt, and I didn't have a cut on me
got the sprocket clean now.
And so I wasn't in pain, but it was a horrible feeling. You know, I didn't know why I couldn't move. You know, I always thought you broke your neck and dead. I didn't know you could break your neck and survive. And so I wasn't putting it all together. But
They need to mark these things.
Hospital. I was 30 days in ICU and then another 4 months in hospital and rehab in Charlotte.
I think it is
And
that.
it was just
We shall see a momentarily. Nope. Forgive it. There we go. Alright, hold on 1 second. I want to mark it. Sorry, come on. Next time we use Chemto, but I mean, hey, maybe. Maybe I remember.
You know, they snuck Dusty got their security was also a Charlotte police officer. He made a way to get Flair and Hard and Tully and them up to come see me because they didn't make it. And
Okay.
came to see me in ICU and do you remember that?
Yeah, them dudes are a lot cleaner now.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Shiny.
I couldn't talk because I had a trach and it was the most helpless feeling imaginable. You can't move, can't talk, you blink. You know, and you see the pain on everybody's faces looking at you.
Worried.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about how long it took to start a rehab.
Right.
What are some of the milestones or some of the breakthroughs, I guess, that you recall having where you're thinking,
Well, immediately after the surgery, I could bend my left arm. So that was, so I got some immediate return, instantly. I think, and so moving my arm, then the first time they set me up, oh my goodness, I felt like my whole body was just made out of jello. Because all those muscles are turned off, even if you have a return going back to them, you have to re-educate them and do all kinds of
Record.
things to get
What are you
back
chewing
to
on,
them.
dude?
So, you know, it was bad to being able to feed myself at first and sit up, and then
Alright, now let's see.
2 months in, I actually was able to take some steps in 5 foot of water, and that was a big thing. But my right side was much weaker than my left. I had what they call a ground support injury, meaning my motor nerves were damaged on my right side, but I can feel better on my right side. Well, and the same thing vice versa. This side working better, it's still not to a degree, and I knew what it took to do what I did in the ring. I had no earthly thought in my head that I'd ever be able to do that again. Right. I just wanted
you
to
already made, you had self,
I had complete self-awareness.
with that,
Those around me didn't.
right? So, yeah, I'm sure there's other people thinking, you know, maybe there'll be
One more match.
come back, right? But was that emotional for you to have done, you know, this is a different situation than what, you know, with racing, we had to be in the fact that you know, you're into doing drive a race car, you drink, this guy, you were in the ring, you got to do that, you got to live that dream, and I genuinely, both racers on here, and I like to talk to some of the guys that are retired, and one of the things I really enjoy discussing with them is coming to terms with the end of that dream. How do you, some guys struggle, some guys really still, even years later, had a hard time seeing themselves as anything but that guy that they were in that race car. And,
I don't know.
it's still a journey for myself to really there'll be a day where it's completely shut off, right? I'll never drive another again in my life. And so I can't, you know, I like having a conversation because it not only helps me, how this is not our situations are not similar. I was not necessarily in the same experience that you had with the accident.
Okay.
But how was that emotional to realize, you know, that man, I'm not gonna get to continue that work hard for.
Did you know at cricket you can get iPhone 16e.
You clean up photos with Apple Intelligence? Lena.
Oh.
See, back till now, the Mel's like the Sam's just crazy because Mel's in text and Sam told Jake to tell me everything, and now I have one inside of me.
Get iPhone 16e. That's rough. But hey, with 6-Play, you can get that fixed any way you want. Any way I want.
It's your windshield. Get fixed any way you want with 6-Play. New Hyaluron Tint Lip Stain Serum by L'Oreal Paris. Hydrates like a serum, lasts like a stain.
Large birdie needs are too big to ignore. For support as big as they are, need science study. Formulated for long, healthy lives, plus joint support. Because you're only human. There's hills. Science does more.
Golf is many things. Beautiful. Euphoric. And a real joy. Swing through the ball, head down, tuck your elbow, and feel the short. Relax. You look great. Golf Galaxy is the place for players to start the game. That's why we have the latest apparel. Shoes, accessories, and hats. So you can focus on your swing. Because you already know you look good. Get ready for launch at Golf Galaxy.
It's a day-to-day thing. I had to learn to celebrate victories that weren't something that others would measure as something spectacular. A lot of happiness was everything
Still.
back as it came along. And, you know,
You still see it getting tighter. Why?
5 months after winning it, played with each other and walked away. That's a great personal,
Try this.
victory inside for, pushing and not giving up and getting to that point. But to your point, say, I'm 27 years old at this point in time, and, I didn't want to wrestle forever anyway. I wanted to wrestle all my career. I didn't want to be that version of myself going past my prime. I want people to remember me, be as
Why?
best I could be, the best version of myself.
Why are you doing that much? Straight, not crooked.
It was the most exhilarating thing I've ever done. Benny Parsons took me out at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I got to drive his car, and that Alameda that owned the car, and I played that all through my head. And again, just like wrestling, not knowing about guys coming up and starting go-karts and all the things they do to attain all those skills. Because just because you got big balls and you don't mind balls down, they're going 40 miles an hour in circles. Really physical experience. I had all those things. I drove then I sat in the front side, elbow the roll cage, and he drove me around, wide open. And I experienced those G's and respect for that. And
Oh, I don't know.
I've gone through the Buddy Baker driving school and tried to learn, because this was Tim Richmond, all these young guys, and it was a huge parallel with the audience.
Why is everything?
To NASCAR, they were always looking for that next young
Unless
guy.
I just didn't notice it last week.
Sales and bringing people out there to the stadiums. And well, I understood that.
I mean, right there is
I
pretty doggone. And when you come to this side, it's all kinds of loose. I mean, look. I go to this side, it's tight. And right now, this is all loose. So these sprockets can move around and adjust a tiny bit.
And I did some interviewing, and then I ended up eventually working with Dustin
I wonder.
as what they call the deputy chief
I'll do that.
which he was the
If I do that loose side, then it's going to shove it that way and be able to how it comes around probably won't.
It was really hard to try to communicate to people.
But if I do it on the loose side, or I'm in the tight side, and then leave it loose, it might be too loose over here. It might come off.
And I did that up until like 1990, 91. And
Chain is straight.
it wasn't a
I don't
path.
see.
Myself continuing, it wasn't a good space for me, and the guy opened up another door and introduced me to something else, and I got crazy another role. It wasn't in the spotlight, but something that I couldn't even imagine how demanding it would be. I met a fellow here from Indianapolis named Aaron Richardson. He'd been in the tower building business for his entire life, and he's a wrestling fan. So he was all happy, getting to know me and all this. And he,
I'm also trying to see if there's a little bend in my chain anywhere. 'Cause right,
Yeah, you got
it's
to
loose.
And so, you know,
Like if
for
one of the
people like
links
me,
are
you know,
slightly
we think
bent or
it's just a
pushed
spot.
up.
You know, no matter what role you're playing in the business, it's under the spotlight and it's got to be there, right? But you just explained like how difficult some of the roles can be when you're not the man. If you're not the star, being in that business, chops. And you finally made the entirely new direction, unrelated to anything of notoriety or celebrity, right? And you made it work. You succeeded.
I'm gonna send it right now. Let's see what we're sitting at.
you guys, apply to, world championship team, quality. This apply to whatever. No matter if you're a factory widget or if you're whatever, are going to be a value add in whatever way.
Okay, and then
If they
I'm
say
gonna loosen the motor a little bit and test it. No, it I did that last time. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it, but I did. After I set it, I did adjust the motor a little bit. Might change it. I don't know.
And I have spent more hours with Tony in conventions and stuff that I quit at than anything you can imagine. It's an 10 most violent hate match in history and the world. We were playing
Everybody over here. That's all right. Action. Now we're good. I didn't need to spin an hour on this. Pop both these a little bit. Okay, just right length, or right tension, I mean, length. Check it. Okay.
You're Cody Racing's godfather. Do you remember being presented with that idea?
I do, and I watched y'all's interview, and I feel.
Let me get this stuff out the way
I
real
feel
fast.
bad in ways because.
Now I'm getting ready to do the
I
bearings.
was there and we flew down on the flight, rushed to the hospital. It was Dusty and I, Nate Fernandez, I can't remember yesterday. And, you know, I was there with Christians down in Tampa, Florida, and held it while they did the whole ceremony. And, you know, shortly thereafter, I have this catastrophic thing happen. So, you know, certain things in your life, you just like, yeah, I don't know whether your mind just doesn't wrap its head around with all these things. But it wasn't really until he became a teenager that I was like, oh, by the way, that's my God stuff. You know, because it was just during that very dramatic time where certain things would shut down, and you know, I go
Okay,
with you. You know, so I watched him, and Dusty's wife Michelle and I actually talked a lot more in later years than Dusty and I did, because she would always be
Make a
home
couple Starbursts.
tell me what was going on in everybody's life.
Because why not?
What's happening. But you know, as Cody's set his sights on what he wanted to do with his business.
Trying to figure out where to put this camera at while I do this so y'all can see what's going on.
You know, had been very heavily rooted in
There's nothing.
Cody was just like
Nothing wild or fascinating.
hybrid of what his dad had been.
Just cleaning bearings.
What the business evolved into. He had vision like his dad, because to have worked for the WWE as a young man like he did, and have a huge contract, and then realize that they're not seeing in you what you see in yourself, and having the courage to get out there and prove to the whole world what you're really all about. And looking at today, you know, now he's 3 times the heavyweight champion in WWE, and arguably, you know, one good go down in history is being one of the biggest stars of all time, and is you know, done things that his dad never even dreamed of as far as performing. So yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of him. I wish Dusty was, you know, here, in the corners, you know, we know
All right.
I texted him the other day if we were gonna sit down and have a talk, because he had told me about how
Take the pen out.
much you were part of his life.
And these should just be at the back or right off. Now watch out, 'cause there's gonna be a couple of washers and
Excited to listen to this conversation.
don't drop that.
It's interesting because I had got, you know, when he came in here and we got to sit down and talk,
You gonna have that one?
I was really kind of taken aback by how genuine and honest he is about how he feels. And you can tell that he doesn't, he wears his feelings around
Take it
his
all off.
father and all of that, and missing his dad and everything that he's experiencing, and all the success that he's
You're gonna have another one back here.
although his dad's not here to see, he wears all that, right?
Should the back one.
There's no question. As tough as that is, it's so good to see, because he's real. You know what I'm saying? Was impressed, I guess, get to
Now I'm right here.
hours in here. And that was before the big push and what he's done in the last year and a half.
Well, what you ought to do sometime is listen to Dustin's story.
Yeah.
And
Dustin? Yeah.
Dustin's story, because his relationship
First off, lock the
with his
steering
dad
wheel.
was from the outside looking in, and only got to be, you know, engulfed in that when he was already 16, 17 years old, and moved here, lived with his dad. And Cody, you know, Dusty had so many regrets.
Clean it off.
You know, he and his children's lives from his first marriage.
I expect it. Make sure you ain't got no gouges or like serious wear and tear on there anywhere. Okay. Now. Whoop. Back over here.
He could take a person like myself and see something in you that you didn't see in yourself. And so Dusty, coincidentally enough, passes away on birthday.
All right. Oop. Hey, hold on.
And I went to his funeral in Tampa. And all those now WWE.
I do use this one, right?
All of them did this. And the Bella twins, and just on and on.
That way you can see everything and just start pulling stuff out.
The same thing. Moments touched their lives and brought something out of them that they didn't know they had.
Yeah, I mean, it's nasty. Woo.
Scene.
Let's see all that dirt crud in there.
You know, making billions
Mm.
today. I couldn't even tell you.
You mentioned earlier about driving a race car with Benny Parsons.
First, get it off. Just kind of look.
You had a
You
genuine
can see all the dirt
and somehow
right there.
transitioning out of the wrestling world and
So,
exploring the idea of being
same thing all around. Carb cleaner and wipe it out really good.
I grew up around that too. Ricky Roach from where I'm at, Chevy.
Or blow it out. Your choice.
And
You know.
I have an uncle who's actually 2 months younger than me. My dad's younger. And so I always enjoyed it and watching it. When I got behind the wheel of the car, I had a whole different perception. I realized that there was nothing simple about it.
Now I need to get some dang red shop rags. That's what I need right now.
And on the heels of that, I get on the plane, and Alina's on the daggone plane. And we ended up talking for hours.
I'm just taking this and
He's going to kind of lead the path out. And he said, this is where you
just wiping it real good and just making sure there's no gunk in there anywhere.
He's about to have a challenge. He goes, no, you know, I got things.
Yeah, you got all this stuff.
But I figured, you know, if I was 27, I'll be the world champ. You know,
Alright, let's do this
for
real quick.
3 years. You know, I can start doing some driving school stuff on the side and learning and, you know, maybe cross it. Right? And it scared the crap out of everybody. But I saw that as, and don't take this the wrong way, but I saw that as a less physical path than when I was doing everything. And I'm doing this 7 days a week, and I am, you know, I'm beating people up and I'm getting beat up 7 days a week. And I didn't see, you know, I saw 30 to 40 as, hey, that car, I might be able to hang on to that steering wheel for 10 years.
So, speaking of the wear and tear, like I mean, you know, obviously an accident had a heavy toll on you physically, but what are some of the scars and things that you carry just from actually bouncing around the ring?
Well, so I found out when I had the wreck that I had already broken my neck at C7. Sometime a year or so earlier,
Clean this
never
out.
knew it. It never missed a day of work. And I knew I hurt my neck real bad one time. I went to
Now, if you want, you can hit your bearings with this, or just spray them with a lot of oil.
and he held on and I catapulted
That way you don't take a chance of rusting anything. I mean, it's you know all about preference and everything. I'm gonna try it with some WD-40 at first.
So yeah, I broke my
See
neck
what happens.
sometime probably 8 months, 9 months prior to having a car wreck. And then I also found out in the last 12, 15 years that I had broken my back too at the L4, L5 level. I broke the wings off the back of my vertebrae. They were gone. And so I mean, there were things that were, you know, that would have.
Now I'm trying to blow it out.
For everyone.
Might sound pretty good. The high pressure.
Sooner rather than later, had I kept that pace up.
Take yourself back to, you know, 25, 26 years old. What were your favorite matches? Were they, I mean, and I'm asking like, what style of match was your favorite? What was the cage? Is it a cage match? Is it, what is your favorite match?
So I started out the scientific drop kick, you know, arm drag, Ricky Steamboat style, you know, scientific wrestling thing. But the character that I became is Magnum, particularly in the Mid-South days. You know, you mentioned the deal with wrestling too, but before that, it had been Butch Reed, who was
Okay.
a big, strong son of a gun athlete. And I like the battles. I like the punching, kicking, brawl, the John Wayne style brawls better than I like anything. So Tully was tailor made for that. Before Tully, dad had Wahoo, and Wahoo had been like, you know, he was like a hero to me. I'd watched Wahoo and Johnny Valentine when I was a kid, beating each other to death over the Silver Dollar Challenge. And you know, so
No wrecker.
to have him kind of pass the torch to me at Charlotte, which was the centerpiece for the Crockett, since I was the steel cage U.S. title, you know, that was the start of the run. But then Tully, and you know, Tully was such a seasoned pro. The thing that really I hang my hat on, and the reason I felt I was ready to have a world title run, they put me in this program with Nikita. And Nikita's 290 pounds, raw, green as grass, intense, fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Russ starting to sit right there. Might use PB Blaster on that one. Protect it later on.
And I was the veteran. Then I was the lead. I was the guy that needed to make sure that this thing, you know, lived up to everything else I wanted to do. And we had that what they call the best of 7 series for the world title. I got to beef. I had my mom at a match signing deal, and she didn't know anything was going to go on.
Clean.
And I had to,
Alright, we'll put a little PB Blaster on this just because there's already a little bit of rust sitting on there.
And my mom's, oh my God, everybody was screaming. And so Bob Goggle, president of the NWA, is going to reprimand me because up to times I could becoming a challenge, the U.S. champion, and I deck him. So this is the precursor to the Steve Austin deal. And
I think that's the one I'm hearing knocking too.
NWA, then they stripped me of the title, and we go into this best of 7 series, which ended up, I think we actually had like 15 matches or so before it was all over with. But
I should have a brush somewhere. Maybe I can. That big honking wire brush, that might damage it more than do any good. Yeah, I think that PB actually worked.
And next time we would see each other, I have a different one.
When you went on a fight in a cage match, was there anything unique that you had to be aware of or prepared for? Or?
Yeah, you know, back then the biggest difference.
Cage matches were
they were bloody.
Nice. There's still a little bit right there, but.
Fans ate them up. They were different than they
Alright, let's get this thing blown out. Let's see how bad it is.
Yeah, well, you know, back then it was.
Ooh, yeah.
But people had a level of intensity to your point that I go back and watch some of the old matches on YouTube. They're so good that they're in every movie, everything they will
Wipe them out real good.
They'll never have that again because it's a bigger show today. You can't cut the house lights down and have just everything featured on that center stage because they got 30,000 people to go see. You know, because they got to have a jumbo.
There's a little bit on this one too. I want to wipe it down. I think like.
10,000, 11,000 seat building with all that focus on you.
I'm half tempted to use PB Blaster on both of these, and then slap just a little bit of grease in there, just for a little extra protection. I know WD will work, but man, I know that PB Blaster works really, really good for rust. And just since there's a little bit of rust in there, because when I went and raced the other weekend, I didn't touch these. I haven't touched these since I got this chassis. I looked at them, saw there was grease in there. They were clean. Like, all right, that'll be good because it was clean grease, and I looked real good, and there wasn't no dirt or nothing in there, so I just left them alone. So that was my mistake, but it'll be all right. I mean, these can easily be replaced if it comes down to it, you know. Since doing that, right, go ahead and slam a bunch of PB in here. PB Blaster. There's wondering what I'm using. This PB Blaster.
gingerly and making it mean something
Here.
to do, like when they just do the Arabian.
Take it bright. Here, shut this thing off quick.
Yeah, it takes them right after.
That way y'all can read it if you want to.
You've done perfect, fantastic.
Here.
Kudos.
And interesting, do you find it ironic too, or just so coincidental that it's in Cody's peak that color would come back? A guy whose dad was known for color.
I see, it won't ever be like we had, because it just couldn't. I mean, literally,
I guess my feeling is that like the industry changed so much, and I don't know that anyone currently in today's roster would be willing to bring that back, but Cody would, because he's such a, he's an old school, his roots are in that style of a match, and so I just find that really interesting that I didn't think it'd ever come back, but it did, and it's.
well, the age thing was the first thing. Everybody was afraid of sure. When that became a thing and blood mixed with blood.
Okay.
And all that stuff, they were terrified for that as a liability. But then as it became,
Go ahead and just clean these a little bit. Just wipe them down. Blah, blah, blah.
That is a playroom friendly with family entertainment. So we had the grandmas and everybody else in the front row, just swinging and hit you with their cane if they were mad at you, So.
Have you ever had a fan maybe cross the line?
Now,
I'm sure you have. Like, do you recall any?
I've been trying to decide if I want to use a little bit of white lithium or just use this stuff, this wheel bearing grease.
House shows would go fight out 2-3.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go find my white lithium. I just want to compare.
Physical. Nobody really wanted to get close because they could hear the shots. I would hit him on the side of the deck. He would tell you this. He couldn't talk right for about 8 months because I would hit him right inside the neck where it was soft tissue and I could make contact. And it was thrown full speed. It wasn't thrown trying to take his head off, but even at 240 pounds, throwing your hand that fast, you're gonna leave a little mark on you.
So, you brought your son along with you to the podcast today. Does he ask you about, there's sort of this meme on the internet now, what were you like, mom or dad, what were you like in the 90s or the 80s? Like, do you find him digging into your history?
Oh yeah, and he's already been in the ring and done some training, and the most surreal thing I've ever seen. So there's a guy named Lodi who wrestled in WCW. He has a ring in Matthews, and he schooled there. And Tucker had been a few times, just learned a few things. So I'm sitting there, and Arn comes in. Arn sits down next to me. Arn's son wrestles. Arn's son looks almost just like Arn. They're like spin images. Well, he goes in there with Tucker, and all of a sudden I'm watching Tucker and him. Mind blown. Right? Just the most emotional moment.
And this is what I'm talking about, by the way.
Years, because I was watching something evolve, and I'm watching the history, and I'm thinking about all.
Because this is for small stuff, for mowers and cars, and really anything white lithium. But you can't go wrong. This is the only can of this I got left. This good old brick stuff. But I think I'm gonna do what I got right here this week. See what I like. See what it does. See if it changes anything.
I'm curious.
But
As I get older.
PB Blaster is on there pretty heavy. I'm gonna take just a little teeny tiny bit of this grease and just put it on bearings on both sides, spin them real good, get it worked in. Cause I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, you can just oil them and have them nice and free like that, but it helps prolong them if you just put a tiny bit of grease along inside there.
Absolutely, and it's something that's either in your DNA. It's not something you can force somebody to do. I've got my oldest son just turned 30, and he's a big, healthy.
I get it down in there actually.
Young man, and because
Hard part.
chose that path, and I would have helped him had he wanted to, but he had no inclination for it whatsoever. year, she had a 1, 3, 5, and 7-year-old. And I had my oldest son young. And the moon and stars lined up, and we just had this undeniable chemistry. And I never imagined having more than 2 kids, much less I go from 1 to 5. And you know, raise all those kids and until they was part of their lives. I mean, in and out, even on the weekends and whatnot. And him and I still working events and stuff. You know, so it was, you know,
I didn't know that.
yeah, very strange, very, you know, just strange.
And just come
All
in,
these things took, but I mean,
wipe
we've all interacted with the
access
trials
off.
and tribulations and challenges and parenting and trying to solve things that those kids went through. And
Slide this a little bit too heavy.
you know, how to best see them through something.
So I can
And
blow it
it's
out.
just been a crazy. I mean, I got about 10 books in my head, and I don't know where any of them.
You mentioned Stone Cold a couple times during our conversation. You see a lot of parallels and similarities with his story and his character.
I guess the fact.
Alright, now I got it worked in.
Kind of anti-hero kind of deal.
Just bear with me. There's a process to this. I mean, yeah, they roll really good like that, right?
Have tag matches where I go help rock and
But
roll.
I'm also gonna take this compressor and blow all that out. There's still gonna be that tiny bit of grease in there to help.
Typically, because
That
I was chasing
is what I like to do.
championships, I kind of stayed in my lane.
And it gives them good roll afterwards.
And Russ was a very rough style, yet I would be that babyface fight from the bottom up, usually bloodied up, and just, you know, get people pulling for me. And Steve, the similar path was that Steve was a great athlete from the get-go and very good in the ring from the get-go, but he found that rattlesnake, you know, character, you know, kind of like after same thing like me in the South. You know, they brought him in as the professional or some goofy thing they had in the WWE first. And usually, you know, your first impression is, you know, your best impression. And if you're going to be successful, it either gets over or you go somewhere else. Well, he, like me, got a second chance with the same group. I got that second chance in the South and it popped. And of course, he became arguably one of the biggest
Hold on.
phenomenal, you know, personalities ever. In wrestling. I think over several years, he followed the exact same path he did.
I am a wrestling fan when
Them dudes are rolling now.
there is a Dusty Rhodes, when there's a Magnum TA, when there's a Stone Cold, when there's a person in that ring that looks like
And what this grease does that's in there, I mean, it's very light.
and
But what that grease does, it traps that oil that I sprayed in there with that PV blaster. So you got both of them working together, and it's just good. It works. Gives them good roll. I'm happy with it. So put these dudes back in there. Put them back on.
You know, even though you had a name and you wore, you know, maybe some unique clothes, it wasn't a stretch to imagine walking into a bar or restaurant and seeing you sit down, you know, have a dinner. Or, and it's transitioned, I think, particularly in the last handful of years. The characters are more trapped, more elaborate, and less, they're not wearing regular clothes, they're not wearing, even, you know, Stone Cold is kind of the last of them.
Oh, yeah, they would let them let you go out there.
Alright, so I'm gonna do this one hand. Get y'all back over here.
That kind of missing.
And the blue collar America, I mean, my dad, his dad was ironwork, steel construction for 30 years. And, you know, I come from that lifestyle and that hard working, all American type deal. And I worked in steel before I ended up, you know, I ended up in telecom and construction. My dad
I do use the clean side when I put it on the cart. I'm just trying to prolong the health of everything. I don't want to scratch this up. When I race, you get scratched up. That's racing. Oh well. That's just part of it, man. Okay. Everything's good and clean right there. Put that one on first. Now, take it. Dadgummit. I'm glad that fell on the face. Good. Okay. This washer was on there first. And what that does, it just holds it, kind of pushes it in just a little bit. It makes a difference. It just helps with dust and whatnot. And then clean this off. Blow this off right fast. Had a bunch of dust and threads. Alright. Right front is done. And just get it hand tight about where you want it. Spins like a dream. But that is how I do bearings. That's how my dad taught me to do it back in the day when I did IKF. And that's how I'll do it for the rest of my life of racing. So, go over here and get this left front now. Anyways, I know there's a lot of movement going on.
I was a fan of yours. Always admired your style and the character that you created, and the friend that you were to Dusty. And I love to know that that was a genuine thing that would carry on for years. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity.
All right, same thing.
How that business worked and how you rounded
It's
out
off.
where you went to find all this opportunity and create opportunity for yourself. I think people are going to love to be able to hear it. For the ones who haven't seen you out and about at some of the trade shows and whatnot, they're going to love to know what you've been up to. For people that are a little bit younger and may not have been able to experience what you did in the 80s, a lot of people are going to hear your story for the first time. So thanks so much for being here today. Terry, it was a great honor.
Well, it was a pleasure. You're right here in my backyard. It was a travesty.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we haven't crossed paths, honestly. And I guess responsibility a little bit on me for that too.
We're gonna do the exact same thing on this one.
Hey, this is Dale Hart Jr. For all the latest Dale Jr. download gear, including the I'm gonna drink some beer t-shirt that we've been talking about here around the office, head over to shop.dirtymomedia.com for all the latest merch. Alright, so that was it, man. Magnum TA. I put that post out on social media today telling people that and I know a lot of people probably weren't thinking Magnum TA, but that's going way back in the early 80s, maybe the mid 80s. Yeah, I mean, his story is a cool one. Also sad and tragic because his career was cut short, his opportunity, which I feel like that was
Spray the
probably
hood about.
to be world champion at some point. And just didn't get that opportunity, but to hear, heck,
Wipe it down really good.
maybe just about 3 or 4 years away from transitioning out of the ring, which is interesting. I'd be hard to believe that, if he had found his opportunity as a world champion, he would give up the chance to keep staying on top and working the industry in that role. But who knows what would have happened with Magnum TA. You see him right over my shoulder here with Dusty Rhodes. They were a tag team. Man, they were so much fun. I want to go back right now and get on YouTube and look at some of those old matches. Because honestly, I mean, I know today's wrestling. I'm a big fan of wrestling, and I know that it's a massive industry now, and there's fans all across the world, and there's so characters in the industry now. But I don't know. You know how our nostalgia works. It does the same thing in racing. We think, oh man, the 70s and 80s was so good. But I feel that way
About does it.
about
Take a little shot of air in there. Just
watching
Just because.
how that
That's
was,
done.
so much
All
fun
right.
watching. It wasn't even
Let's get
so
these
much
bearings
what happened in the
cleaned
ring,
off.
it was the promos and the talk. It was just like watching. I was heartbroken when Jay had his automobile accident, and I knew that his career was over, but I had no idea the significance of his injury, and we're witnesses today to what that did to his body physically, and also how it changed his life. And so I knew that,
Make
even
this
if you
dude
don't know
nice
who
and shiny.
what TA was, and even if you're not a wrestling
Don't want
fan,
any
the
dirt
story of
on this
a
thing.
guy who had the
Alright,
top
that's
of the
clean.
world right there inside.
That's
And
good.
lost it all, but still
Alright.
found a way
Go ahead and hit these washers real
to
fast.
not only survive,
There's a little bit of chem tool and
push forward,
wipe
and
it down.
to make something out of his life. He went on into a field totally unrelated to wrestling, totally unrelated to what athletic ability he possessed before his accident. I mean, he had to find something to work. And he did. And he doesn't seem
Let me zoom y'all back out here. Hold on.
emotional.
I know ain't nobody here, but somebody might watch it
Oh, man.
later on. So
I don't know that many of us would have been able to come to terms
man, this washer's
and
pretty
negotiate with ourselves
scuffed.
the reality of that situation, right? And he talked about it. He's like, man, people were telling me that I had this sort of opportunity.
Might replace it later on, but I think it'd be alright for now.
Throw my life away and being
Okay.
Pretty cool to be able to say that I've actually had a chance to talk to him and talk. He was very good at describing everything that he went through, and I got everything I needed out of this.
You always want
I hope you enjoyed it.
the covers as clean as possible. That way they'll sit down in that ring as flush as they can. I mean, yeah, dust is always going to get in. It's just part of racing. But every little bit helps. Trust me.
Thanks for joining us here at the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new meat and 3 box. You get more meals for your money at Arby's. Arby's. Yeah, the meats. We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Done with that. Hit them with PB Blaster real good.
Oh, damn, there he is. There he is.
Roll them out.
And a lot of fans. How you got that. Richard came on and was appreciated for a while. And Richard, he was just a character. He was, I don't know how he came up with the subject, but he said,
anybody ever tell you you're like a rooster, a bantam rooster? I said, what the heck, what are you talking about? He says, man, because if I could work and get you fired up on that steering wheel, he said, you'll attack anything. You know, you're just a little guy, but you'll go after anything. So, and that's kind of how I got started. And it's one of those deals. I mean, it could be named a lot worse. So I guess it's
Yeah, oh yeah. So you don't mind.
no, it doesn't bother me. No, it's kind of neat.
Do people still call you that, like at first reference?
Yeah. I mean, I'll see
Okay.
people I haven't seen, or they haven't seen me for years, and the first thing they'll say is, "Hey, there's the rooster." You know, I think, oh, okay.
So you were born Richard Lee Rudd. How did you get Ricky?
I'm not really sure where that came from. Just early on, and it was kind of funny because once I started racing and learning about all the different drivers, and I guess I was named after him. I think I was named after a great grandfather, but Richard Lee, and it's Richard Lee Petty.
Right.
So it's kind of odd that ended up with that name, a racing name, when I was born, I guess.
Yeah. So you said it, man. You know you're running into people I hadn't seen you in years. I hadn't seen you in forever. So what have you been doing?
Man, I wish I could tell you all these great, exciting things, but kind of doing exactly what I want to do now, you know, and not on a schedule. And that's, I know as far as booking things
What?
in advance, and I'm probably getting labeled hard to get along with, but it's nothing personal. I don't want to be on a schedule anymore. You know, I've lived that schedule forever. I don't want to do a schedule anymore. So if somebody calls up this morning and says, "Hey, I need you in California to go do something," and I look around and Linda's sitting around and she didn't have anything to do, and she goes with me, we'll hop on an airplane and go out to California. And that's kind of how we live life now. We don't really live on a schedule. We just sort of live day to day, and you
Okay.
sort of, you know, all the years that you didn't have control of your schedule, now we're taking advantage of having control of it.
Yeah.
Back on my fingers like that, blow it up. Blow them out.
Over 10 years.
Yeah. Add up, you know, you look back at it, and where those 10 years go. And, but it's really, it's just a lot. And you'll never
Right.
get for a long time I was riding mountain bikes pretty aggressively.
Really?
Yeah, I was doing that for a long time. I was riding about 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
And decided I wanted to be a mountain bike racer maybe at one time, and ran my first mountain bike race, and I said, that's not necessarily such a good idea. This is more training. These guys are very serious about doing that. This was just
Grease up my fingers.
More than what you anticipated?
well,
Wipe off all the excess.
I was taking something I had fun at, and I'll do that. I mean, that's just a character flaw. I'll take something that's usually pretty simple that most people have fun at, and I'll turn it into something complicated and make it more than it is. And I was working out, training, eating right and stuff, and I just said, you know, I went mountain biking just to get away and have fun. Now I'm
If you look in there, you can kind of see that grease in there still. I mean, this is lightly
mountain biking when I do, it's just, you know, a pleasure ride, and I can't ride the miles like I used to.
Did you ever ride
a
a road?
little bit.
No,
Back in.
I like road, to ride on the road, but I'm scared of that. You know, it just scares me having my back to traffic. And guys do it all the time. I understand now. It's kind of neat because you go to a racetrack now. I understand that most of the crew guys have their bikes, and whenever they have days off, they just, or afternoon off from probably 5 o'clock on, they hop on their bikes, they can do a ride, and they just have a blast. But I think it's great.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson got me into it, and I rode 2,400 miles in 2017, and I've fallen off quite a bit. I don't ride much at all, but I miss it, but I feel the same way. Like I bounce between being nervous about riding because I don't like riding alone, versus, you know, if there's a big group, then you're kind of intimidated by the speed of those guys and not doing it enough.
Yeah, you gotta do it. I mean, you gotta live it, really.
You do. You'll fall off. Like when I was riding 2,400 miles in 2015, I'd worked my way up from 15 mile an hour average over 20 miles to 19. I was real happy with that. And then I keep doing it to stay strong enough.
Yeah, you gotta live it. 5,000 miles.
Work on your legs.
But then if you sort of ride trails, and if you sort of learn how to outmaneuver them, you know?
Exactly. Yes.
Well, if you were looking for adrenaline, or you know, for something, a hobby,
All right,
place that
quit.
did that give it to you? And if not, what have you?
Oh, God.
seen
Yeah,
that,
freaks.
to try to
Turd.
fix that adrenaline?
I know what you're doing.
kidding. Then he had to be doing some racing, right?
Yeah, so I got a garage full of the latest, well, I say latest race. I haven't opened the garage door in a year and a half, so I think it's still there. But, you know, and I'll do that a while. I got bored of that. I'm fiddling with airplanes. I like to fly airplanes. I have my pilot's license in the 80s.
Yeah.
So anyway, my son came along and he got interested in flying. So we went and bought a little small airplane. After 10 years of not having an airplane, we bought this one. Linda calls it our putt-putt airplane. So it's just nothing fancy, you know, and it's what it's for. It's not around. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, man. Well, let's get back, dive into your career a little bit. I know you started out as a go-kart racer, racing motocross, right?
Yeah.
All right. How did that get going? What was the catalyst? What was the one thing that got you interested in racing?
I have to say, I
You
got
dug
5 kids in the family, first of all.
These are the
Yeah,
same.
kids, and I was next to the youngest, and my dad was a body shop guy. He was a body man. He could build stuff, and he built a replica small car for all the kids in the family. Not me. I was
Centerpiece in there. Make sure it's
full
straight.
time, so it really wasn't built for me. It was built for my older brothers and sisters. And it wasn't
Bearing on there.
car had headlights and all kind of stuff. But they
Now,
lost interest.
let's put the covers back on.
5 years old, and I'd wear my dad out. Hey, let's go out and run a go-kart. Let's go run it.
We're good to go.
And I'd just wear him out. And
Take your
so I was
washers.
myself and
Everything. Let's put it back on.
my older brother,
Get y'all back over here real quick.
we would do that.
We almost done.
We just, again, he spent time, we go out and ride. We lived in a residential neighborhood.
Okay. What are you doing, buddy?
We go out there and we'd probably run 100 laps right up Oak cul-de-sac. And that was fun, and it wasn't really fast.
Oh, Bubba.
And that's kind of how I started. It went from there. That was fun, but I want to do something faster.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kinda-
I didn't wipe that shaft down. Hold on.
So you got into go-kart racing and motocross. And
The old spindle is a little dirty.
what was the connection from that to racing stock cars? You jumped in a stock car in 1975 Rockingham. What was the bridge?
Well, that's a good question. I really don't know. It just sort of happened. You know, it's not like I'd have to.
Come race day, I will hit these with lubricant, and that lubricant will get in there on that shaft. I'm just not putting it on there now because I don't want to take a chance of dirt sitting there, and you know,
All the national races, and found out I could do pretty good.
it's a lot easier to deal with later on.
But these were not the kind of go-kart tracks that you see around town. It's like Road Atlanta, Watkins Glen, VIR.
This on there.
I was
Pull it
19
out.
years old, driving
And
100
this one?
mile an hour VIR.
Lay it down.
Pull
Laying
it
down
out.
on your back.
Wow.
Lay down a go-kart.
Did you go to
Field
Daytona?
days. Daytona was just starting when I went car racing.
Yeah.
So we did that, and man, I love the speed. I mean, I was
You went to Daytona?
they did run go-karts, but the year I sort of retired, moved on out
Alright.
of go-kart racing, that was the first year they went there. I did race in Charlotte, Rockingham.
Right. They ran Charlotte Rockingham.
Yeah.
Okay.
They eventually got to Dago.
Yeah, those things, I mean, they're very fast.
How was that running around Charlotte
We
Speedway?
are done. Chill off here.
You know, yeah.
We are done with the main cleaning for now. I'm gonna spray a little coil or tri-flow on this in just a second. Probably try to get this done. And then my filter sprays and stuff came in, so I can get that one cleaned out. I've got, well, I hope I still do. There it is. Boy, I thought I lost it for a second, but I got this one here that I'm gonna get cleaned out. Set it back over here for now. And these are the tires I still gotta clean, which I'm gonna do tomorrow. And then, other than that, the important stuff is now cleaned. Took a little longer than it should have, but it'd be alright. Already got the chassis done. There's still a little bit of dirt in the nose, but meh, that'd be alright. Let's see. I think I might. I'll probably take my air nozzle and blow this out of any dust, and then hit it with some tri-flow afterwards. Make sure there's no stuff getting bound up in the cable inside here. It helps. And then just take a couple drops and put it right there. I mean, it really doesn't need any, but it'll help.
was building motors and stuff when he was in high school.
Only thing I'm concerned about is I've got fuel
In our neighborhood, kind of-
coming right there from right there. You can see where that dirt is.
And my brother were best friends in school.
Maybe, let's see.
And then Cliff's second cousin was Bill Champion, but they
Yeah.
volunteered help Bill Champion work on his race car. So Bill was getting up in age, and then and he kept mom like, hey, I'm about ready to over this stuff. I'm too old to drive this thing
There we go.
anymore.
Sorry.
And, my brother and his
But
friend Cliff,
that is yeah,
he's really good,
that's about it. I want to thank Grand Garage Automotive and Towing, Enid, Oklahoma, Bulldog Spray Foam and Excavation out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, and then Russell Racing Engines out of Haskell, Oklahoma, Tiger Signs out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And then y'all like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Help me grow. But I am going to call it. I took entirely too long to do this anyways. Should have been done in like 30, 45 minutes, but I played around too much. But y'all take care. Have a good one. I'll see y'all sometime this weekend. I'm going to work on camber and caster this weekend. And probably figuring out how to do stagger, I guess. So y'all take care.